Howdy, folks, and welcome back to episode 4 of Truth Shots, where this week we have got quite the flight of bullfuckery in store for you. First, we got the ringmaster of a traveling circus of hate that rolled into Dearborn, earning himself a tall, frosty glass of shut the fuck up. Then we got to look at this shit because the internet remains an active crime scene and unbeaten at the same goddamn time. And after that, we're going to get into them there Patriot games. Because what should have just been a bunch of kids competing and teenagers playing dodgeball somehow ended in allegations of wire fraud. Because when Trump's involved, of course it did. And to top it all off, today's guest is going to be a dude named Metal Pete Comedy. And, well, quite frankly, when someone named Metal Pete is the most normal person in the room, well, you know the conversation is going to be worth listening to. So go on and grab yourselves a seat, pour yourself a drink, because I'm feeling lazy tonight, and let's get into it. Okay, folks, gather around, get your seats, and give me your ears, because we got us a tall glass of shut the fuck up to give out, and today's recipient is none other than pardoned January 6er, self-proclaimed Christian white nationalist, and professional ass-whipping taker Jake fucking Lang.
Jake Lang, shut the f*** up.
Now, quite frankly, anytime Jake is given a microphone and allowed to open his mouth for more than a quarter millisecond, is going to be a reason to give the man a tall glass to shut the fuck up. I mean, I could bring up the time he got himself banned from the entire fucking state of Texas after making terroristic threats. We could talk about the fact that he's got a pending charge in fucking Minnesota, or we could talk about the time he got caught texting a pedo hunter pretending to be a 15-year-old and trying to figure out what state they lived in and when they would turn 16, because, you know, age of consent makes all the difference. But, instead, we're going to talk about his latest batch of exploits in Dearborn, Michigan.
Guys, we're live in Dearborn, Michigan for the March Against Islamification. We will not let our country fall and become like London. We will stand strong against these Islamic invaders.
Okay, that's about enough of Captain Empty Plate Carrier up there. We'll get back to him in a minute. But before we get into this and I debunk the fuck out of him, let's take a second to figure out why. Now, for those of you who don't know, like me myself before not too long ago, the reason he's targeting Dearborn is because it is the largest population of Arabs and Muslims in America. But that doesn't matter, and it never should. Guess what? People of similar background tend to come together and form what's known as communities. It's almost like finding a fucking fork in the kitchen. But when you're dealing with stupid people who will believe any narrative as long as you force the pieces together to make them fit, they just go along with the bullshit. And so Jake found himself a little statistic that he could, throw up in people's faces that actually passed a fact check and run with it. But this isn't his first adventure to Dearborn either. See, what he's doing right now is actually retaliation for what happened to him last time he took his punk ass to Dearborn.
We support ICE. We do not want these illegal immigrants here. Jesus is king of Dearborn, Michigan. I speak the name of Jesus.
Oh, shit.
You love to fucking see it. Now, you'll notice here, look, they on his ass like Scooby fucking do. Now, I do want to take a second to point out here that while it is always appropriate to punch a Nazi, this is the exact response him and other paid agitators like him want to see. They want you to whip their ass. Now, I don't know if he necessarily thought it was going to go so far as to him getting his ass whooped all the way into the back of a police car. I mean, I'm glad it did for my own personal reasons. But that is exactly what he wants, and it's exactly why he went back to Dearborn to do this whole biker crusade bullshit that we're about to get into here in just a minute over the last week. Another embarrassing turn of events, as we will, soon get into and find out. But that is exactly why he's here. He's embarrassed because he showed up trying to make trouble by himself in a town he didn't have no goddamn business in the first place, and and he got the shit smacked out of him and chased into the back of a police car. Now, y'all, can you imagine being so embarrassed by receiving the consequences of your own actions that you stir up a bullshit crusade to go enact revenge on the community in which served you up your consequences, and then the best you have to offer is some incoherent chat GPT laden fucking you know what? Let's just tear this thing apart. Can you play this fucking thing, producer man?
For 3 years straight, the #1 name in the country of England for newborn babies is Muhammad.
Pause. Hey, dipshit. Muhammad has been in the top 100 names in Britain for a goddamn century. This is not some new replacement event. This is just a little factoid that you could throw in to fit your, again, ChatGPT had a fucking stroke speech, and it's inconsequential bullshit. But what else you got for us, Jake? You continue.
Tell me that white Christians are not being invaded. How can you lie to our faces with your taqiyya? This is an invasion on all fronts. Our people are being pushed out of the workplace. We're being pushed out of city councils. That smug face of the taqiyya Muslims needs to be wiped off these people's faces. These people.
We'll get into the bullshit he's about to speak. But it's crazy that he says that they come here to invade us and push us out in a fucking city council meeting held by the people that he is complaining about elected. Like, it's the irony does not slap these stupid fucking people in the face, and it's crazy to me. Just like using the taqiyya, as he calls it, you want to invoke an incredibly fucking fringe sect of a religion, but you want to talk about Christians? You want to talk about the folks that like handle snakes and drink fucking poison off in the holler? Like, every religion has crazy fucking people. I personally think all religion's a little fucking crazy, but that's neither here nor there. This holding on to fringe shit while claiming the most outrageous fucking thing is the only way these folks are able to formulate any kind of a point. And again, with the most basic bit of information looked for, it debunks it. Just okay. Let's get into this next bullshit statistic he's got for us.
Come here to assimilate.
That's right.
They have come here to steal the wealth of this land, to rape our women. What about the 250,000 women in England that were raped by Pakistani Muslims, and they got little slaps on the wrist from the woke Democratic regime? The Muslims are being used by the Democrats to instill socialism in America.
That's right.
We know it. Look at all of your top Muslim leaders. They all pander to homosexuality, the trans agenda, and to socialism. You're fake Muslims. You're just using the Democrats.
Pause, because there's a whole fucking lot to unpack there. First and foremost, that 250,000 figure that he's throwing around, and it's a thing that has been thrown around a lot, is not fucking true. It is a number that was extracted through extrapolation from Rupert Lowe's Grape Gang inquiry. I'm trying to, follow guidelines here, y'all. You know exactly what word I needed to use. And the figure's actually much less. It's more like 1,400, and it's not raping. Oh, well, I just said it. Women, it's children, because he's trying to drag children into his little fucking culture war. It wasn't all Pakistani men, and nobody got slaps on the wrist. Over 2,300 years worth of sentences were doled out over this. And finally, in his little statement there, he says the woke Democratic regime, dickhead, I don't know if you know this, but there's no woke Democratic regime in the UK. They are much more staunchly right than anything going on right here. This is what they do. They grab one little piece of fucking information that someone's written down somewhere, claim it's truth, add a whole bunch of bullshit to it, and try to sell it to you. Let him keep going.
These woke liberal idiots, the women in New York, to gain power. And once the Muslims have power in this country, then they will start throwing the homosexuals off the roofs. just like they do in Palestine. You guys all cry about Palestine. Try being a white Christian man preaching the word of God in Palestine. Guess what might happen to you? The same thing that happened to me here in Dearborn, Michigan. You will be stoned for saying the name of Jesus Christ in Palestine, in Afghanistan, in Yemen.
Pause. So, are they radical niche sect Muslims that are incredibly adherent to their religion to the point of being willing to kill other people about it? Or are they fake Muslims that are just in a power grab to look out for themselves? Because it can't be both, Jakey boy. It can't be both. And that, I'm so sick and tired of hearing this fucking off the rooftops like in Palestine shit. That was ISIS, you dumb motherfucker. Anybody with Google can get this information. Why does anybody listen to this fucking dork? Continue.
In Iraq, Jesus Christ is outlawed in those countries, and we will stand. The crusade has begun. Your time in this country is running short. The time of stealing from the Detroit black Christian Americans is over. It's over. Muslims go home before we send you home. We have cruise ships, we have planes, we have trains, and we're going to pack them out.
Okay, first the fuck of all, there are white Christian men in Palestine, real Christians, mind you, not whatever the fuck this is. There are white Christian men in Palestine right now trying to render aid. In fact, it is a tenet of modern Christianity that they don't mind their fucking business and go all over the goddamn globe. There is not one oppressed white Christian man on the face of the earth. What the fuck is wrong with you people? And stop saying shit like crusade. Stop romanticizing one of the worst fucking acts in humanity that wasn't even about God. Pick up a fucking history book. Crusades were land grabs, you dumb fucks. They used God to control you then, just like you're trying to use God to control people now. If you can't tell, I've got a wee bit of religious trauma here. Anyways, what the fucking idiot, continue.
With all of the Arabs, you have to go home. We don't want you here. Our founding fathers gave this country to their posterity. White Christians, and they brought along with them their black friends, and now we're here to reclaim America for the blacks and the white people and the Spanish.
They brought along with them their black friends. Jake, I understand that you don't know how to read above a 5th grade level, I've been hitting the head a lot, professional wrestling and whatnot, but I do seem to remember even before the 5th grade, we understand and knew what slavery was and how this nation was established, at least, a little bit. I don't think anybody got brought along as, what the fuck is this PragerU ass revision of history? And now we're also here trying to look out for Spanish people. This motherfucker will say anything to try and make a cohesive fucking narrative, and this has got to be the most all over the fucking place speech I've ever goddamn heard. Continue.
We will not allow these third world mongrels to run roughshod over us without a fight. The body of Christ is one. If you are in Christ, you are my brother. If you stand against Islam, you are my brother. If you are willing to stand up and take this country back, you are my brother. Join the Crusades and extricate this filth from our country.
You're right. We should extricate the filth from this country. If you are willing to stand up beside that piece of fucking trash and call him your brother, please kindly do us all a goddamn favor. Get together, dig a whole bunch of goddamn holes, jump in, and just decompose like the fucking trash you are. This place would be better without all of you. Whew, if I got myself out of character with that one. I'm a little hot in here. Anyways, folks, this is the ultimate personification of what it means to be MAGA. This is the stupid shit that you have to tell yourself to fall for these ideologies. And while you're telling yourself that any and all of this could be true, these fuckers are jumping out the back door so that you can take the heat and they take the bank home. But it's all a show to them, and you are nothing more than a peon going along with it if you don't smarten yourself up. Now, Jake, you're getting this week's tall glass of shut the fuck up. But this week, I'm not going to be the one to have the last word. You see, there was somebody there in that audience while he was spouting all that stupid shit, and quite frankly, what he come up and said after he was subjected to that, well, I think it's much more important for everybody here to hear. So let's just lead on out.
I just want to start out by saying the measure of a man isn't how loud he can shout, especially when he's shouting out nonsense, because even a donkey can shout really loud, but at the end of the day, he's still just a donkey. Jake Lang loves to wear Temu armor without any plates in him to pretend that he's a soldier when he never served in the United States military. Since Jake Lang loves Dearborn so much, I challenge him to face me in the ring in 90 days right here in Dearborn, Michigan, where we can sell tickets that will benefit the city of Dearborn. And if he wants to put hands on a Muslim, let him do it to me, a white, red-blooded American Muslim. That's all I got to say. Jake Lang, I know you can hear me, and if you can't, I know you'll see my video because you follow me.
Oh, put that shit on pay-per-view. I would fork over a fine sum of money to see that. Hand-delivered tall glass of shut the fuck up. Folks, this is where we get into the surprise portion of the show, where my team has put together a collection of clips for us to partake in together, and this time I haven't seen a single one of them, so we are all in for something, well, hopefully funny, but you never know what these folks got keyed up for me. So, Maestro, if you would please, can you show me the first thing that's either gonna piss me off or make me laugh? I don't know if I should be pissed off or laugh or be concerned. Was he in the fucking dairy aisle? Or I have so many goddamn questions, and I don't know if I'm gonna be capable of getting answers. Y'all on some bullshit today. Next.
Free top chief! Free top chief! Free top chief! Free top chief! 24, 25, 26, 27.
Andrew Tate is not, as far as I'm aware, he hasn't been proven guilty of anything. He has not been convicted. So I'm here to defend a man who defends men all around the world.
Nothing what a democracy looks like. And that is what the UK looks like now. It is a fallen regime. It is a despotic state. It is a state that hates men, that hates Christianity, that hates masculinity, and that hates Andrew and Tristan Tate.
What a bunch of fucking dorks! Okay, I have seen that before now, but I didn't know that was in here. Jesus fucking Christ, can you imagine having nothing better to do than go protest for the freedom of your sexually abusing, human trafficking, all around shitbag of a favorite podcaster? I cannot think. Okay, well, maybe Jake getting beat up in Dearborn. Outside of that, I cannot think of very many things more embarrassing than not only publicly admitting that you're a fan of the Andrew Tate and whatever his fucking brother's name is, but doing any of that performative bullshit. And don't get me started on those goddamn push-ups. Next! Oh, hey, speaking of Dearborn. Oh, it's vibing in that motherfucker. Look at all the angry people. Got the Spider-Man meme going on. Oh, they fucking lit. See, that's all right. Look, I love seeing a Nazi get punched in his shit, but I also just love a people being like, no, we are none of the things you say we are. But would you like to see how we have fun? Because just invite me next time, goddammit. Next. Not the first time this has taken place. That cat's used to this behavior and over it. As a cat dad myself, I have seen that face a time or two. Usually when the toddler's doing something. I love fucking cats. Next. $5 is the spiciest thing at the concession stand was mayonnaise. Next.
Pop lock it for my Lord and Savior. Pop lock it for Jesus Christ. Pop lock it for the King of Kings. Pop lock it for Jesus Christ. Pop lock it for my Lord and Savior. Pop lock it for Jesus Christ. Pop lock it for the King of Kings. The pop Grifters.
Well, you know, religious psychosis comes in many forms, y'all, and if I had to pick a favorite, it's gonna be whatever the fuck that was. Break it down, big dog. I ain't mad at you. Shit. Next!
You gotta go hard! You gotta go hard! Even when you don't feel like it, even when you tired, you gotta go hard! Even when you hurt, even when you sore, you gotta go hard!
Goddamn right.
I already told you, you gotta keep going and going and going! You gotta go hard! That's true!
Man, I ain't mad at it. I don't know what inspired these events. I thought that was a Walmart at first, but I don't think it was. I want to start shopping at wherever they giving out motivational speeches while I'm bagging my shit up. That was phenomenal. You know, usually these y'all come look at this shit, leave me with my blood pressure up a little bit, and like I want to go like set some shit on fire, run some rivers red, but damn. Am I about to leave this segment with a smile on my face? Thank y'all. Everybody say thank you to the production team for hooking us up with that actual amazing assortment of clips there. Well, thank y'all for joining us for would you look at this shit? Hopefully they're all this nice. Spoiler alert, they won't all be this fucking nice.
Truth shots.
Now, here in a few, we're going to get to our conversation, and today we got a good one. But before we get there, we got to go through the main event segment of the evening with our Billy Mays spinoff, as I like to call it. But wait, it gets worse. And this week's target, the Patriot games.
But wait, it gets worse.
Now, as you may know, a few weeks ago, Pumpkin Spice Palpatine put on his long-touted Patriot games, and to be honest with you, we kind of ignored it because it just seemed like another MAGA field day that didn't need more attention. Until we got to doing a little bit of digging and saw where the money was going. And well, now we're here. Now, I know it's been a long time, so let's do a little bit of catch up. Does anybody remember when this thing was actually announced?
In the fall, we will host the first ever Patriot Games, an unprecedented 4-day athletic event featuring the greatest high school athletes, one young man and one young woman from each state and territory. To help carry out these exciting plans, we have created a new public-private partnership. It's called Freedom 250.
Ah, yes, Freedom 250, the same not-so-fine folks who brought you the lame-ass state fair with not a single space for shade in 5 square miles. Wonder how that could have turned out. Well, I guess we really spared no expenses and spent all the times doing the safety checks on that one, huh? But we'll get into that in a minute. Immediately when these things were announced, the entire internet made the exact same obvious joke. I mean, I did so myself. We're doing the Hunger Games now? And of course, leave it to fucking Newsmax of all places to let that one go right over their fucking heads. You know, actually, just let's show them.
This is nothing like the Hunger Games. No one's out there fighting to the death. If anything, it's like a National Olympics competition.
Yes, because nuance doesn't exist. I mean, it's Newsmax here. We're talking about nuance doesn't exist. But if they're not actively killing each other, then sure, it can't be anything like the Hunger Games. You know what? Cool. Well, how about we just call it what it kind of was? The Hitler Youth Olympics. Now, I'm sure you may be asking yourself, what kind of events would these kids even be competing in to showcase American excellence? Are they doing sprints, running laps, lifting weights? You know, the typical stuff that would, showcase athleticism? Yeah, no, fuck all that. They're doing Chuck E. Cheese style basketball and American Ninja Warrior knockoff courses like this. Hell, they didn't even bust out the big stuff when the Bone Spur Bandit himself made his little debut appearance. Look at those pathetic ass fireworks. And why is Pat McAfee's stupid ass here? I swear, for a dude who says he's so not political, he sure does seem to keep showing up beside that overdeveloped fuck-stained side a whole lot. And you know what? If I'm being fully transparent here, I think something like this, under the right folks, could have been cool. You have kids from all over the country, you include the territories like Puerto Rico, and you have some actual fucking competition where kids go through the fucking motions. They do the things to qualify. Like, you actually figure out who is the baddest teenager in the land athletically. But that's not what happened here. For fuck's sake, there wasn't even a real qualifier. They just made YouTube videos and they got picked. It's nothing about this was an actual competition or an actual showcase of American excellence. This was a grift, as everything with this stupid fucker is. In fact, I think we might even have an audition tape. Can we see one of those real quick?
150 years ago, our nation was built on grit, resilience, and an unstoppable drive to push past our limits. I am John Gass, and I am ready to bring that exact same spirit to the 2026 Patriot Games.
Two, one.
Choose me, John Gass, to be a part of the 2026 Patriot Games.
Now look, far be it from me to make fun of a kid publicly, but his fucking parents need they asses drug out behind the woodshed and whipped for putting him up to this shit. That should be considered a form of child abuse. I mean, let's be honest here. You're trying to, make your child visually appealing to be served up to a known pedophile for a competition where he watches teenagers. So, that's child abuse in and of its fucking self, if you ask me. But Ain't nobody asking me, so my opinion don't matter. But do you not realize that in 10, 15 years, that kid is going to be a fully grown adult that has to live in the free world, and every job he gets, every friend group he tries to make is going to find that goddamn video and roast him into oblivion. And whose fucking idea was the cape?
No capes.
Damn right, Edna, no capes. And just like no capes, no crowds either, because they had to beg people to come to this motherfucker. They literally sent out emails to try and get a crowd there so that when that cockwomble showed up at the end of it, it wouldn't just be crickets while he spoke into a microphone. Jesus Christ. Besides the whole, him stroking the air off again thing, I was not prepared for what my team just did to get us around copyright laws. Oh, I have the best fucking people with me. Anyways, it gets worse though. It's not just that. This is another one of them there Freedom 250 backed productions. So the important part of showing you all this isn't for the laughs. It's to remind you that it's about following the fucking money. Now, just so we're clear, because this can be quite confusing, and I think that's kind of part of the point, Freedom 250 and America 250 are not the same fucking thing. You see, America 250 is the bipartisan effort put together by Congress to commemorate the nation on its 250th birthday. Freedom 250 is the Trump family-backed grift service that keeps putting on all these events while padding the Trump family bank account, up to and including potentially putting out information to donors who thought they were donating to America 250, only to later find out that it was actually Freedom 250, and there is active investigations going on to figure out if this was in fact fraud or not. Of course, when questioned on the subject, the Freedom 250 representatives deny the claims and call it a partisan smear, like they're not just too lazy and doing this shit out right in the open. And if this was just some poorly organized sporting event, I could probably shut the fuck up and forgive it. But it's not that. It's a part of a much bigger problem. This was America's 250th birthday. You only get to do that shit once. We could have had awesome events. We could have had things that drew us together as a nation, that gave us hope and reminded us who we are and how we got here together. But no, instead we get two half-ass attempts at a field day and a competition for kids while the fuck staying in the Oval Office made his wallet fatter. And if that ain't a goddamn picture-perfect explanation of what it's like to be an American right now, quite frankly, I don't know what the fuck is. Maybe if we make it another 250 years, we'll actually get something like that for our 500s. Something cool and of the people, instead of just another fucking cash grab for the so-called corporate elite.
Truth shots.
Okay, folks, now it's time for us to get into the conversation portion of this show. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I didn't know where this one was going to go because, today's guest is someone that I just happened to find on Instagram doing some of the same things that I do, mostly just bullying maggots for the dumb things they say online, and started following him, and then, the comments flowed back and forth, and, now we got him here. If y'all would please, in the comments, be welcoming to him for me, and, join us for a conversation with Metal Pete Comedy. So, Pete is a comedian, pro wrestler as well, correct?
Yeah, I still have a little time. I'm still like a little iffy calling myself one, but I've had matches. Like I feel like
I call myself one, and that's me right there. But I haven't done it in fucking.
Wait, what was your worker name?
It was Mr. Locke.
Mr. Locke.
I tried to do this whole I'm gonna be a submission and then never did fucking submissions. In fact, for the longest, so you see, I got me a big dude, this guy right here, and so we just did the I'm the little guy and he's the big guy tag team moves for like a decade. We just got booked as a tag team all across the South.
What I want to do is I started training in Brooklyn, and it was like the most queer-centric wrestling school probably in the country. Like everyone there, I would say like 80% of us, including 2 of the coaches, all queer, trans, like so lots of different background. And one of the I was having like these feuds with a group, and it was just like it's two gay guys and a trans woman, and they're all amazing. But it's so funny. I'm always like fighting them. But I was like, wouldn't it be funny if one of them, Brianna Bands, who was amazing, people should look her up. I was like, wouldn't it be great if we were a tag team, a fucking 4'11", 90-pound black trans girl and a 350-pound white redneck?
That's the fucking best. I'd watch that match.
Right? Like, why? Like, how would that? Because like, obviously it's like, oh, we're gonna feud with them. I'm like, nah, make us a tag. Like, imagine if we were a tag team. That'd be hilarious.
Fucking book it. It. I want to see it.
Yeah.
The little guy or little person, big person dynamic in wrestling is some of the best. Like, so first of all, I think that professional wrestling is the greatest interactive live storytelling medium there is, because it requires both, when it's done well, the people inside the ring to be attentive to the audience and react off of their reactions to the story being told inside of the ring. You know, the moves are great. They're cool. You can do a million moves. And like, I enjoy, I'm going to call it spots. AEW style wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy a good spot fest. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But I was trained in Alabama. I grew up on Memphis style wrestling.
Yeah.
So I want a story to be told. It's what happens between the moves that's the most important to me, you know?
Yeah. I also, for me too, it's like I'm not doing lucha. Like I'm not flying around. Like I just want to be a hoss who just punches people. And
I mean, I wish I was big enough to be a hoss, because, you know, being 5.5 foot tall, you know, you won't know this experience, but you've taken part in it. When you're 5.5 foot tall in the professional wrestling industry, your least favorite words to hear are, "Hey, I've been thinking about trying something," because it's going to follow with, "Come here and take this real quick."
I literally would do. I would be like, "Hey, I'm gonna try this new move." And I was trying to come up with a finisher, because like when you're a big man starting out, it's choke slam. Your finisher is a choke slam or a big clothesline. And so, but I was trying one where I wanted to do where my opponent would go away from me. I'd grab the top of his head, flip him down into almost like a sister, like almost like that Sister Abigail, like inverted or crossroads inverted, but then flip into a power slam. And that was like one of the ones I wanted to do. But I would just grab whoever was small.
See, my best friend is my tag team partner. We got into wrestling together. In fact, he got me in. Like, he found somebody that was willing to train him, and I was his ride. And they were like, "You want to train too?
Get in the ring, you."
Fuck yeah, I'll train too. So he just picks me. So like when me and him got really big into watching Kevin Steen and El Generico,
all those bastards are great.
Takara, he decided he wanted to do the Steenalizer. So who got to take the fucking package power bomb 300 times? This guy.
So you might be an inch shorter than you were.
Probably. My earlobes and elbows had been introduced to each other several times. But hey, we got it down to the point we'd go down and he could throw me back up. I'd flip over him and land like 450 style.
It's so funny. I was worried like getting into wrestling was going to like take away from my love of wrestling, but it really hasn't, because comedy has I don't watch comedy. I don't really. There's very few comics that I watch now, because I have to be around it so much. It's like not as exciting for me. Like Kyle Kinane's the only one that I'm really like, I will always watch his stuff. Can go back and re-listen to it. I think he's hilarious. And he was actually at one of my shows recently, and I probably one of the most nervous I've ever been. I'm like, oh, I'm at a bar show with 8 people, and one of them is my favorite comedian. I better not suck. But like wrestling, I have wrestlers come into town and they'll stay with me. and we will stay up all night doing illicit substances, allegedly, and just watching like old New Japan or like death match.
I can watch old wrestling. I fell out of watching wrestling right around the same time I started training. But then, which is weird, I know to say, but then over the years, it got to where I do the thing where I can't watch a match without being like, up, I'd have done that. And I am far from the best wrestler to ever exist, but everybody feels like they are when they're watching somebody else's match, right? So I have that. It's hard for me to watch without picking the whole damn thing apart.
I can do that when I go to some local shows, but that's more me being like, I'll watch people and be like, I see, I'm fine, I can do this. But then I'll watch more like good ones and be like, holy fuck, I can't do that.
I think it also gets me because I spent so much time on the indies, and again, mostly like real local indies. This is probably one of the bigger companies I've ever worked for. This is Union Wrestling Latin America, so the owner does like 6 months in Mexico, 6 months in America. I think he's more America these days, but like that's super crazy up top there. He would bring in guys from AAA, and we get to work on the card with them. It was super fucking cool dudes, by the way. But I'm so used to indie style wrestling, and you don't know what that is until you experience it.
Yeah.
That watching like production TV wrestling to me these days is like, I don't want to say ballet because wrestling is ballet, but it's so scripted. I'm like, well, but the crowd wasn't even with that spot. What are you doing?
For me, it's like I still watch them, especially because I don't know, maybe it's this long, but as far as like live shows go, like I go to indies. I also go to a lot of deathmatch. I have an upsetting bloodlust now, and all my friends are like, all my closest friends are like deathmatch guys. I go to them. I'm doing commentary for one coming up in Houston.
See, I would do commentary for a death match. I'm too pretty for all that.
Well, so here's the thing: is I want to do one. I don't want to do only deathmatch, but I want to do a couple here and there. My boyfriend's a little more, as much as he loves watching deathmatch. It's the only wrestling he'll watch is deathmatch. That's that pretty much. But he doesn't want me to do it because he's seen how fucked up my friends are.
Well, so I assume since you watch deathmatch wrestling, like you know about Carnage Cup, IWI, or
yeah.
So Freak Show, who's won Carnage Cup, been in almost all of them, and Spider Boudreaux, those guys are from my area. So like, I've all but played tic tac toe on Freak Show's forehead from the amount of gig marks he's got, and like, you're not stabbing me with a box cutter. I'm fucking sorry.
No. One of my best friends is this wrestler named Casanova Valentine. He started the no ring death matches up in New York, and like his body just looks like Braille. It's like this. I'm like, I could read a story on him. My partner's like, I want to, but again, I don't want to do that all the time. Throw me in one once in a while. I want to get hit with a couple light tubes. Just cut me in my hairline.
So tubes aren't bad. They're one of the few. Like, I mean, I do hardcore matches a lot.
Everyone says barbed wire seems to be the worst.
So these two dudes right here, and us two were booked as a match for this show, probably a dozen times, and we got booked as a match a lot. My retirement, you never really retire in wrestling.
Yeah.
My retirement match was against them in a hardcore match. That's what Cato, the guy who runs that show, booked us for as Lucha Extrema. Because we just go out there and beat the fuck out of each other. We're all really close friends, so nobody cares if you get hit a little bit too hard. But every now and then we'll bust out the tubes or I'm a fan of tacks because they happen so fast you just don't fucking notice it. Tubes aren't really that bad unless one of two situations happen.
The Nick Gage situation.
If you're like my dumbass buddy over here who lets a guy shove 3 of them down the back of your singlet and then hit you with a stop sign, because there's just nowhere for the glass to go. So until you go take that singlet off in the back and essentially shit a window pane into the floor, you're just bumping in fucking sharp damage.
Yeah, just driving them deeper in.
Or the way they go wrong that doesn't fuck you up, and that's what happened to me. My first experience with a tube, I might have been 18. I started working at 17, like lied about my age, all that shit. I might have been 18, and I got put in a hardcore like 8-man gimmick, and dude grabs a tube, and I'm like, I'm shaking fucking scared. But I'm like, I'm a professional wrestler. I ain't gonna let nobody know I'm shaking fucking scared. And he goes to body slam me on it, and it didn't break.
Ooh.
All 165 pounds of me come down on it, no break. So he slides it out from underneath me, comes down across my chest. Still didn't break. So I go, fuck it, hit harder. What he took from that was hit me in the fucking face. As I leaned up to kind of, present my chest for it. Nope, just right in the forehead. Right, cut me from fucking here to here. Didn't scar. I got real lucky, but I rolled out the ring and gave myself one of these and just crimson mask achieved.
Dude, that's the thing is, I feel like I need one photo, and then it's gonna be my promo photo for comedy. It's just that one crimson mask. So, because there's a lot of comics that are kind of into wrestling, but it's not to the extreme that I am, or my buddy Trey Pack. He's a comic who I became friends with in Austin. He just moved back to Nashville. But all we do is text each other about wrestling. We don't even give a fuck about comedy. And it's just I want that. I just want I'll blade myself a little bit. We'll get the blood going.
I've never gigged. I have bled quite often, but there's something about me being
just always the hard way.
I just feel like because the way you blade, for anybody at home who doesn't know how wrestling used to get color, WWE don't blade anymore. AEW does, I think. But you take a razor blade and you break it in half, and then you take that half and you wrap it with tape until all you have is just the tiniest of a fucking sharp edge, and you hide it on your person somewhere, or you give it to the referee. However you want to do the movie magic. And when it's time for it to happen, you take your bump, you get hit in the head, what have you. You stick that motherfucker in, twist, and pull. That is all anybody can tell you. The best you're going to hear is you just stick it in till you hear the skin pop. Because I tell you what, you just want to pop your skin a little bit. Because if you don't know, you bleed profusely from the thin skin on your forehead.
Well, especially once the sweat starts pouring into it.
Yes. But I know me. I'm going to stick, twist, scalp. I'm going to scalp my fucking self. So
you come back up from the spot, it's oh, I did too much.
It's just flashing white because my skull's hanging out. Hard way me, please. I'll throw me into the ring post. I'll hit it hard enough. Hit me with a leg too, whatever. But I'm not taking a razor blade to my face.
What's the story where someone was do it the hard way and they get punched? Was it is it Foley doing it? Someone asked them to break them open the hard ways. They didn't want a blade, but they couldn't. They just couldn't connect right. And the guy was "Stop punching me in the face, please."
Yeah, there's another, and this one happens a lot.
My buddy Cass too.
You'll get a young kid who's never bladed before, doesn't really want a hard way. So you'll get them. They'll get someone to gig them in the back.
Yeah,
and then if you punch somebody in that 10, 15 minutes later, it will usually open back up and start bleeding again.
Yeah.
But occasionally it won't, and that's how you end up with some salty vet just punching the shit out of some poor kid in the ring trying to get him to bleed.
Dude, fucking Necro Butcher's been busted open so many times. If you sneeze on his forehead, he'll bleed.
Yeah, I'm not going to be in the same room as Necro Butcher, unfortunately.
I
don't want to catch anything.
I have been in the same. I haven't caught anything. I've been in the same room with him. I was hosting a show that he was on. One of the companies I'll work with, Circle 6, has him on a bunch. Just keep him away from certain topics. He's fine to be around.
I think the wildest thing is, and everybody kind of knows this now, but when you're on an insider, especially if you're trying to show somebody from the outside world, and you're like, here's a death match, look at this dumb shit, and then you hit them with this fucking little piece of knowledge, you're like, by the way, those guys did all that shit for $45 a hot dog and a handshake.
The first show I was ever paid, I was paid $50 and a bag of cocaine.
You got paid
surprisingly good.
Fuck ton.
I know.
I did. So I didn't pay for my training. So I worked my whole first year for free. Yeah. My first envelope had a $5 bill in it.
Don't get me wrong. I tell that story to be like, wow, I got paid a lot. He was like, $20 in a hot dog. I got $50 in cocaine.
For The most time that I wrestled, the most I ever made was like $35. I had this one Wednesday night show I'd go hit. The dude paid me $35. He actually started paying me 20, and then indie wrestling did what indie wrestling does. There was drama in the locker room. I told somebody I was going to whip their fucking ass. I got excommunicated. I didn't even get kicked out of the locker room. I just was like, fuck y'all, I ain't coming back. Like, my whole group of friends was like, fuck y'all, we ain't coming back. But then one of them went back, so then we decided to come back. And when I got the like, well, we're going to let you back in talking to, I was like, all right, well, if I'm coming back, you're paying me more money. So I may or may not have strong-armed a promoter into giving me a $15 pay raise after being one of the assholes in the locker room. For a good reason, though. That dude's family started a whole bunch of shit. I'm not going to get into shitty politics on
Shitty
here,
politics is nuts. Like, you just go to an open ring and just like listen to like wrestlers bullshit. Also, it's so similar to comedy too, which is wild.
I have learned that most industries that are like in these, I'm not saying comedy and wrestling's the same, but like these,
honestly, the stories I've heard, there is some serious overlap.
Dude,
bookers in comedy, bookers in wrestling, it's crazy.
It's the fucking same everywhere. For legality reasons, I won't say the name because I don't want to get in trouble, but I am in a thing, like a group where we dress up as knights and shit and beat the fuck out of each other, and there's arts and sciences and all kinds of other things too. And if you watch my content enough, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I have found that the politics, not so much in the actual like the running of the thing, but the whole, just anytime you get people together doing shit a lot, you're going to have these same fucking kind of stories. Like, it's just wild shit, and there's always friction in the dumbest fucking ways. And literally the night shit that I do, I'm just gonna keep calling it that for this episode, scratches my wrestling itch most of the time. Like, I'm like, I want to go like be in a locker room and do dumb shit and violence upon another person consensually, and then it's like, yeah, but you can do all that in a park in a fucking tunic, so just go do that. Speaking of violencing on people consensually, talk to me about sumo, because I know fucking nothing about sumo. I think that you've been getting into it.
It is my obsession. It's because like, everyone loves fucking UFC, everyone's MMA, and I like the UFC has done everything to make MMA or martial arts an inherently cool thing uncool to me. I just don't give a fuck. I have wrestling. I don't care about. Hey, are they impressive? The guys who do it? Is it impressive? Yeah, they're badasses. Will they kick my ass? Sure. But everything about it's like, I'm not bored. But like, fucking sumo is so much more than people realize. There's so many techniques, so many like different ways to win. It's so intense. You can watch it so quickly. Plus, then the whole culture around it and the ceremony, because it started off as like a religious practice, essentially kind of wrestling, very scripted, and it was just a ceremony. And then they were like, "Hey, we should make them fight for real. They're big." And then the emperors would invite all the top guys there, and they'd have sumo matches to decide who were going to be the guards for the shogun and the emperors. That's how they would pick the strongest guys, the biggest and strongest guys.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it started as like I mean, I knew it was ceremonial things to it, but I didn't know it started as a work.
Yeah. So it started off as a work, and then it slowly kind of became real, so it's cool. But then like they keep so much of the ceremony aspect of it, and then the whole culture around it is they recruit teenagers to stables. Like, it's funny, they have stables.
Boy, so that's a sentence outside of context.
Yeah, I know. They recruit like the biggest kids, but not always biggest. And so you start off in the very lowest division. You live in this stable with all the other wrestlers. You don't make any money. You get an allowance from your stable master, and you have to keep winning to work your way up. And there's 6 divisions, and only the top 2 have salaries. And only the top 1 is like the top. And then, depending on how you do, you move up the rankings, and then you get like the champion titles of like Sekiwake, Komusubi, Ozeki, and then Yokozuna. Most people don't realize that Yokozuna is a title.
Yeah, it's not just a dude that.
It's just not a Samoan dude in WWE, which is funny. It's a misconception I had. that when I was younger, I thought Yokozuna was Japanese, as a lot of us did.
Well, you know.
Then as an adult, we're like, oh, he's a Samoan playing a Japanese person. But that's the second misconception. He never played a Japanese person. They called him Yokozuna. They said he was from the Pacific Islands. Because Yokozuna is a title. Anyone can be a Yokozuna.
Yes, I mean, it wasn't even that he was like, it's not that his name was Yokozuna. He's just champion.
He's the Yokozuna. Yeah, exactly. They're just going to call him Yokozuna. But it's so cool is that the Yokozuna is like a fucking deity. He's like a demigod. And once you make it to Yokozuna, you can't be demoted anymore. But if you don't produce, you can be forced to retire if you're not doing well. So like there's like an entire council in Japan that just like lords over the Yokozuna.
So look, we can't take the rank from you, but if you ain't putting in the work and keeping the title up, we're gonna make you just get on out of here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it was 6 of the last 8 Yokozuna have been Mongolians, and the Japanese got like so mad about it because it's like their huge sport, and Mongolians were just taking over, that they actually implemented that stables could only have one foreign-born wrestler per stable because Mongolia was just sending Mongolian wrestlers
just
over.
Fucking it up.
And but now there's a Ukrainian refugee that is like knocking on the like he's on the precipice of being Yokozuna, and he'll be the first European one.
Has there ever been like any type of gaijin to get?
No, there's been two Hawaiians have been Yokozuna. Akibono, who showed up in WWE that one time, and I forgot the other one. But then everyone else has been either Mongolian or Japanese. There's never been white. There's been a couple like Ozekis who have been European, but this kid's story is crazy. They fled Ukraine. He was a great wrestler. He did a little sumo. He was convinced to move to Japan. This guy started a stable, didn't want to have a foreign-born wrestler as his first like person in his stable, was convinced to take him, and now he's probably the best
Happy
wrestler.
As fuck he did.
Yeah. Oh my god, he must be fucking ecstatic because this guy, he got to the rank of Ozeki, which is the second highest. Literally won 2 tournaments in a row. He's 22 years old. He's super fucking young. He got hurt, lost his rank, had to sit out a tournament, lost his Ozeki rank. But if he got 10 wins the next tournament, he'd get it back. Came back, ankle taped like a motherfucker. He's limping the whole time. He gets his 10 wins, and everyone thought he'd withdraw. He went on to win the tournament again.
Hell yeah!
It's Aonishiki. It's like crazy to watch, and it's so easy to watch. They they fight for 15 days. You fight once for 15 days. Whoever has the highest wins is the winner. If it's tie at the end, they have a playoff. Like this tournament had 3 guys at the top, so they had a playoff. And it's like they put them all on YouTube each day. You can watch all of them in like a half hour, and it's just like they beat the shit out of each other too.
I'm gonna have to go watch some sumo after this.
Dude,
they sold me on.
So when they hit, they go so hard. They slap the fuck out of each other too.
I mean, I've seen some like clips and stuff where they hit and their sweat just fucking clouds off of them. They collide.
Also, the fucking dojo is like 3 feet high, so they just knock each other off of it, and then they just 400-pound dudes just go flying into the crowd. The best is you just see like tiny Japanese women going.
See, that's one of the great things when you watch Japanese professional wrestling and they get out to the crowd, because them dudes are just towering over everybody. It's like, no, y'all better get the fuck out the way.
That it was like when here's the video like when Bruiser Brody runs into the crowd and everyone's like, ah! I was just in Japan.
I know you have, but if y'all have not watched like 90s era Japanese professional wrestling, or late 80s too, when you got guys like Stan Henson over there just can't fucking see, like literally legally blind, and his finish is a clothesline, so he's just clotheslining the fuck out of people. And he's already known as like one of the stiffest workers.
Yeah.
It is some of the nastiest, dirtiest wrestling you will ever see.
So I went to Japan back in end of December into January. Highly recommend go to Japan. If you get the chance to anybody, go to Japan. It rules. Like that whole joke where like I went to Japan. It's fucking true because it rules. I'm sorry, it's awesome.
I want to go.
The food's great. The culture's great. They got like I went to a punk show. I went to a deathmatch wrestling tournament in Japan, and it's so funny to go because I go to so many here, and Americans are just drunk lunatics, and we're like, kill him, you like cut his throat, grab his dick and twist it, like do shit like yell shit like that, and then the Japanese watching this bloody insanity are just like so polite about it.
Everybody I know that's like went to work Japan has come back and been like, it's the hardest fucking thing to get used to is the crowd reaction because where people here are reactive and passionate,
like
they're respectful.
Yeah.
And that's got like I'm a heel. I have been a heel. Like imagine the guy who is mean to bad people on the internet played the bad people his entire time in fucking wrestling. But I also firmly believe that there's something wrong with people who want to be a babyface in professional wrestling because like why you got to make people be nice to you because you want them to think you're a good guy. Anyways, to be like a heel and like you need like that is what the heel works off of is the fucking crowd. Like I spent half my match holding on to the dude's hair fighting with the second row, right? And to not have that would throw me off so fucking bad.
They just like look at you. Yeah, because they're not like because they don't like fuck you like you piece of shit. They don't do that.
No, they're just like great job. Doing good.
I remember the first time like watching like Wrestle Kingdom or like one of like the big events and everyone is just clapping, do a crazy spot. I'm like, that guy's bleeding. Why are we
like it's such a thing, when there's Americans in the audience because you'll hear them over everybody else.
You know which crowd what's crazy is the sumo crowd, I think, yelled more.
I mean, I could see that.
There was more of them yelling because also sumo wrestlers have worker names as well.
I didn't know they had.
There's not there. So like, there's one stable that every single guy's the last half of his name is Fuji because they all want to be named. They even changed one of them. They have like 5 top different Takada Fuji, Atami Fuji, Yoshino Fuji, and I forgot the other one. The funniest one is Takada Fuji is. The first part of his name is Taker, Tattker, and he wears a purple mawashi. So I just call him Taker.
That's fucking great. I mean,
he's also fucking like jacked.
Fuck Mark Calloway, but that's
sure. Again, I think there's a lot of things in wrestling where you're like, fuck
there's
this,
so much
but like
in wrestling where it's like, look, it's physically impossible to separate this from that guy. So we're just gonna pretend that the Undertaker and Mark Calloway, 2 completely different fucking
100%.
Okay?
They are 2 completely different entities.
Like this is
Kane and Glenn Jacobs.
Yeah, like not to make my thing the thing that can be an exception, but I'm sorry. I just cannot look at Kane and Glenn Jacobs as the same fucking dude.
Yeah. The best part is have you seen all the Canes on the indies?
Oh, cocaine is my favorite.
Cocaine! My friend Zach Amico does commentary for Juggalo Championship Wrestling, and he got to throw the bag of cocaine to him one time.
That's hilarious.
But there's also Gay Kane.
I haven't seen Gay Kane.
There's Gay
Kane.
I
have. He's all rainbowed out, right?
Yeah.
It's classic 90s Kane, but it's all rainbowed out.
There was Blue Kane, who's had to be Blue Pain or something like that.
Yeah,
there's another one,
Cocaine
too.
versus Blue Kane match was fucking hilarious.
That's like people are like, why do you like wrestling? I'm like, because it's like the same thing with metal. It's like you could be very serious about it, but then I love things that can be like both very serious and very fucking stupid.
Imagine
and you have to be willing to admit that.
Comedy spot, like you're fucking up if you ain't got a good comedy spot in there somewhere.
Yeah,
especially on the indies.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I worked a 10-minute match one time that 7.5 minutes of it consisted of me and the guy on the other side on the outside yelling back and forth as my tag team partner would circle around and I would either put a water bottle or a flip-flop in the back of his singlet or take it out. So the ref would come check him and there would be nothing there, and then they'd go around again, I'd put it in, he'd squirt the guy on the other side with the fucking water bottle, and we just did this for like 7 fucking minutes. Easiest match I've ever had in my life. Over the entire time.
Yeah.
fucking, this is why wrestling's the greatest.
No, it's so fun.
You know, fucking, I'm sure people in most performance arts have like a general like thought about the same. Because comedy is very. I don't like the new trend of like I'm a comedian, but all I post is crowd work on shit. Yeah. But crowd work is inherently part of being a comedian, right?
I mean, yes, but I do such a tiny bit of crowd work because I don't ask the audience questions. I don't like force crowd work. Sure, if it happens, cool. If my partner asks me why I don't do it more, he thinks I'm good at it. I don't think I'm good at it. But also, I don't. It to me is like my set is so very much personal based that like it's very hard to kind of like weave it in and out of crowd work, and then I forget where I am because I'm fucking stupid in my act.
I do it all the time.
But like, it happens. Yeah, it's like good to be good at it, but it's just so that people now because everyone wants to post the clips and not burn material. I mean, hell, that's why I started doing fucking reaction videos. I got tired of posting goddamn stand-up clips.
I'll be honest, I scroll past and I love comedy. Like, comedy is part of a lot of what got me into making content myself because a lot of the comedians that I watched ended up being shitbag fucking people and I wanted to fucking complain about it, right?
Yeah,
but
fair.
I don't, very rarely, it was not your comedy that got me to start following you. It's other, because when I'm on short form stuff, I want to see like short form, you know, like something happening, somebody got something to say. Leaves falling off of a fucking balcony because they put 35 pigs on a piece of structure that could only fit about 4 people. If you ain't seen that fucking clip yet, go my fucking God.
I don't know if I have.
Oh, dude, it come out yesterday. We'll get back in the comment in a second, but I gotta tell you about this. I think they were there to fucking collect somebody that does need to go under the jail. If you catch my drift, like maybe somebody who didn't tell them people where he moved when he moved. So like that is a thing, but it doesn't change the fact that the cops are what cops are. It just means everybody involved was a shitbag, right? But they're at this like rundown apartment complex, and it's like probably 15 cops standing on the second-story wooden balcony that is very fucking clearly not up to code, right? And 3 of them stepped together right by the door. The whole fucking balcony just ripped and dropped all of them on the fucking ground from the second story. And you see it from this one cop who's like standing on the ground's body cam angle. So she like drops her AR, runs over, to help him. The universe it gave me a little gem for any time I'm having a bad day. I'm gonna go watch a bunch of cops prove that pigs still cannot, in fact, fly.
They can fall like a motherfucker.
Oh, it's fucking great. All right, so what got me into you was, you know, we make very similar content sometimes. Yeah. You picking on fucking maggots.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to do, pick on fucking maggots.
Well, because I made one video, like I did one that like popped off, and I hadn't really overtly done them. I had done like a little bit, and there was like one I did real quick that like popped off. Oh, I think one of the first ones I did was because I started off. It was that clip of Shia LaBeouf saying big gay people scare him, and it just cuts to me being like, "Good, be afraid," and then I started like reacting to like weird, toxic like alpha bros who like use homophobia as like gym motivation, or like you're gay if you do these 3 things. And then I started like skewing more into the political stuff. But I was like, hey, what if I just be like like fight fire with fire a little bit, like alpha toxic bro, but I'm like just gay about it.
I fucking love it.
Because like it's kind of my whole
just redneck about it. Like that was my whole thing. It's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna remind y'all that real rednecks are this way, and I can out redneck you, motherfucker, and I can be meaner than you. So seeing you do your thing, I was like, I gotta follow this guy. This shit's fucking great.
So it's like the guy's like, you better work out so a gay guy can't take advantage of you. I'm like, try to fucking stop me, motherfucker.
It's like, is it politically correct? No, but we're not dealing with politically correct fucking people.
No,
like I love. I don't want to say collecting, but I like to collect people like you, people that have the same mentality as me. It's like, look, any other time, like I'm gonna respect your pronoun. I'm gonna do everything I can to make you feel comfortable around me and the people that I have around me when you're in my presence. But when you're a shit person, when you're a fucking Nazi, when you dehumanize other people, oh no, you lose that.
Yeah. Oh, that's like
I'll stoop to your level. Like,
Yeah.
I'm generic white dude number 7. I can get away with this, and I'm going to use my privilege to be an asshole to you.
Well, that's the whole thing. That's why I was like, I wanted to be the thing. Is like, hey, if you're any one of the minority groups that Jake Lang is like attacking, don't punch him. If you're a white guy, punch him.
Punch the shit out of it. Because you're going to go home.
Because he can't use it. He's the whole thing is he wants to antagonize. See, the Muslims are like, are you attacking me and this, that, even though I'm a fucking cunt. But like, I'm like, if you're a white guy, punch him. Also, because you got, it's a whole, but it's also that tiptoeing of like, call for violence, stuff like that. He called for it. I'm sorry. He said tough alpha bros. He's gonna. It's time.
A long time ago. That's how I lost my first TikTok account.
Yeah. Oh, I gave up on TikTok.
All right. I've said this.
You know what's wild? My Facebook, the one that the video I did about that rapper, about the pronouns, Facebook took it off. Apparently, it like was hate speech.
Fucking community guidelines on all these platforms is fucking stupid.
Which sucks. I just got monetized on Facebook.
Damn.
Like a week ago, like 2 weeks ago, and they took that one down. But it's fine. I'm not losing my account. I made $40 in the last like week and a half. But I was mad.
Fucking win, yo.
Hey, I made 40. I just got monetized, so I just been now re-uploading because I had a bunch of videos that like did great before I got monetized, and I got monetized, and I was like, damn it, I got all these. I missed out on money, so
I don't ever play those games. I probably should though, where I go back and re-upload stuff that didn't.
Oh, I especially as a comic, like my buddy told me.
You absolutely should because you're posting comedian sets and shit. Where for me, a lot of my shit wouldn't even be topical anymore.
Oh yeah, I'm not like I'm not gonna repost. Yeah, the thing like.
Actually, we live in Groundhog Day, so it depending on what type of time of the year it is, I could pick something from 6 months ago, post it tomorrow, and it's gonna match up with what
I was gonna say. There's enough of them that you're like, oh, we're back here again.
But tariffs. Let me reach in the rule. Tariffs. Here we go. The number's a little off on Canada. Nobody's gonna fucking notice.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, my buddy is like, I'll repost some stand-up clips, but that's almost to remind people that I'm still a stand-up. And to come to my shows and shit.
Do you do politics in your stand up at all?
I not really. So, but I have recently my big opener recently has been a little political. It's about Texans being like the whole like being free thing that like they're all so proud of being free. And if you like any city, you're like a gay, liberal, drug addict, homosexual. Like, but I talk about how like they're. You can have a gun anywhere you want, but like I have to put in my ID to look at porn. That's not freedom to me. And I'm like they made weed illegal. They're trying to make porn illegal. Well, thank God I have a gun to kill myself. The other thing I do is I talk about how because a lot of people want to know where I fall politically, and it's like I'm pretty left leaning, but I like doing, which I think you can relate to. More like things that are associated with conservatives. Granted, I don't think they should, whether they should be or not. Gun culture is associated with conservatives.
It is. It's part of my personal mission to break it, which is like every time I have a chance, I bust out my suppressed forced reset trigger MP5. Like I will out you motherfucker.
It's like, and I tell you, I'm like, hey, like I like doing these things, but it's tough to be around the people who also enjoy them. It's like, but I go because. I like things that are associated with conservatives. I really love guns. I was a truck driver for years. I like fucking men behind my wife's back. And
oh, that's fucking. I bet that goes over so well.
It gets. What's crazy is like, it's like I was just in Seattle and Portland and Vancouver where I was like they treat me like I was a fucking mayor. But. They're like, oh, you can do those jokes there. I'm like, I will do those Texas jokes in Texas and stare them in the fucking face. But it's funny enough, it's gotten applauses because, like, the whole thing with guns and then everything else being illegal is they're also kind of like, yeah, that's fucking horseshit.
No, I'm starting to think, I like ethically and morally, I think it's a little too late for a lot of these fuckers to back out now. Like, the line was a long time ago, and it's just now hitting you personally, so you feel some type of way. But
yeah, for sure.
I think that most of MAGA is dead, and I don't mean like physically. I mean, I think even the bot servers are not being paid anymore because I'm not getting them in my goddamn comments anymore because it is starting to hit them, but they got fucking scams too.
Yeah. What's crazy is I think ever since the Jake Lang one, because people have asked me if I've gotten if I get a lot of hate messages, and I don't. The main one I get hate messages on is when I put the video of me walking in China and of people staring at me, and everyone just calls me fat.
I saw that video yesterday.
I've reposted that 3 times just because it does super well.
But dude is just like, he stops. Just like, what the fuck?
No, everyone's always like,
might as well just walk by.
They're all like, oh, it's because he's fat, like this, that. I'm like, no, look, that is a part of it. I will grant you that. And everyone's like, he's huffing and puffing. I'm like, there's a lot of fucking stairs, man. And someone gave me a walking stick. Let me have a walking stick. They have fat people in China. So the reason that I got so many stairs there is because it's very far inland of China that not a lot of people go to from outside of China. I didn't see another white person on an entire mountain. Like, because this was not...
You really are an oddity, so of course people are going to stay.
So, like, yeah, I'm heavy set, but, like, in Shanghai, I don't get looks because I'm fat. Like, they get more Americans. There's also fat Chinese people, but I'm a 6-foot dude with also, I have a beard, and there's not many around. I'm so... not many U.S. people in the U.S. go to Chongqing or Chengdu, and then they'll go farther to this temple. It's like one of the temples where Taoism started. It's just really long. It's a really tall mountain.
People that would be messaging you the hate stuff. Not many of those people go to China, sir. They don't leave their fucking 40-mile radius.
Yeah, one of my favorites is someone commented the first times I posted it. He wrote, all the beautiful places in the world. Why would you go to that shithole communist country, China? I'm like, I looked at his page and he's like in Michigan. He's in like the middle of Michigan. I'm like, dude, look, because some people are like, oh, you shouldn't just show the good parts of China. I'm like, there's enough negative about China. I'm not
like the United States of America is not a shithole on 83% of it.
Also, I can disagree with there's a lot of things about the government of China I disagree with. It is because I've been there. I've seen it, but again, I've been there and I've seen the good in it. It's fucking insane. If you're seeing a Chinese city, it's fucking insanity. It's bright, it's lit up, it's clean, the people are friendly, the food is phenomenal, it's not expensive. Like, yes, you can't use Wi-Fi because the government is listening to you.
I mean, yeah, cool. Not cool, but like, I hate this mentality that it's any fucking better here, yo. Yeah. Every person that acts like that, says those things like you just did, will sit there and look you in the face and say they don't trust the government because of Ruby Ridge or maybe Waco or just any one of these. So you know that our government will abso-fucking-lutely kill you too. They will abso-fucking-lutely mistreat you. Like, we are... The other day, Fuckhead was like, oh, we're doing this to stop the most dangerous regime in all of history. They're the #1 sponsor of state terrorism. I'm like, motherfucker, we have an entire publicly known branch of our United States Army whose entire goddamn job is to drop into a country in a 6 to 15-man team and destabilize their government. We don't sponsor terrorism. We just do the shit.
Yeah, the thing everyone's arguing is like, oh, these countries before Islam. Like, no, Islam's existed for a fucking long ass time. We just go in there and put the most insane ones in charge. That's like if we put fucking. It's like if we was like, hey, make Timothy McVeigh the fucking president. Like, which, hey, we're not far off from that. But like, the thing is, but China's been around for fucking 5,000 years. We are a drop in the bucket compared to how much that country has gone through and done. But like, they put their, it's a little too authoritarian. I agree that, but you're not going to fucking go into bankruptcy because you're sick. You can go their entire country has high-speed rails. I took a 3-hour train for $80 across the country in first class, $80.
Try doing that shit here.
I was in a recliner. on a high-speed rail. It was like, I was like, get the...
You can't even look at a recliner in a mode of transportation for $80 in America.
It is a high-speed rail. You got your own waitress. Like, it's like they put it into their infrastructure. I saw one homeless person in a city of 36 million people. One.
maybe there's something that can be taken from this.
Look, so like, but I like, here's the thing is too, it's and I want to talk about more of it in my act because I feel like people will listen to me about these things because I look like this, so I don't look like some like hoity-toity scholar who's like, oh, I've been here and here. Like, I don't know. There's something about being kind of, an ordinary Joe. People, yeah, exactly.
I understand.
Yeah, 100%. So it's like I'm walking around. I've been to China 3 times. I'm in Chongqing. I'm like walking around, and it's people with their families. It's about coming together with meals, having drinks with your family. It's about like courtship. Like you go there, you finish your drink, they fill you right back up. You want food, they want to feed you. Like I'm like, people with their families living. I'm like, there's so much similarities, and everyone is so like, fucking China's the enemy. I'm like, they're people. They're fucking people.
That is the entire point of everything I fucking do, everything I fucking say, is people are people. And are there shitty people that are going to abuse any system and any fucking structure? Absolutely.
100%.
We are all goddamn people. So the only people that I'm ever going to not treat like people are the people who treat other people like not fucking people.
Yeah. Like, it's amazing because especially when you go the first time, because you're like worried about how they could be Americans. Like there was like I would say maybe a couple old people were mean, but my partner's grandma was a little skeptical of me. But
most of the people who watch me are a little bit older, but they'll be the first to tell you like old people are fucking old people. You know?
Yeah, but like
come up mean.
But like yes, and old Chinese people, holy fuck, they ain't sugarcoating shit. But like yeah, it's just you go out to drink. I'm playing like drinking games with like random people at bars. And they're like excited to see me, and like the food's phenomenal. You always have like, also, man, do they eat a lot? Like you go to dinner and then you go to another dinner. You're like, hey, we're going to hot pot, but right after we're going to get like Szechuan barbecue. Like, oh, I think we just had dinner. Like, yeah, we're not done yet.
Hell yeah.
And then you just drink the whole fucking time.
Well, look, I would love to continue this conversation, and we're definitely going to have you back on. And like, I'm just going to hit you up later because, like, I'm glad this conversation went down the way it did. You are the dude that I was hoping would be on the other side of the screen. You know.
Are you in Alabama?
Yeah, I'm in Alabama.
All right.
So when you inevitably get on one of them nice tours and you make your way on down to Holland,
tours, it's just me messaging everyone in the country trying to be like, hey, can I come do comedy?
I mean, fair enough.
Because I don't have an agent
indie
yet.
Booking is, hey, can I come get beat up in your ring? Like, you don't even have to pay me a whole lot.
No, see, now I've had to stop doing that. I had to be like, yeah, you need to pay me.
Oh, now, like, look, I say it again, you don't retire from wrestling, you retire.
Yeah.
If he calls me, Kato always took care of me. The money, like, that's the most money I've ever been paid for a show. I'm going to go for him. Anybody else, sure, you better
chill out.
I don't flex that big ass number under my name at all ever, but if a goddamn wrestling promoter called me, oh sir, you better fucking back what is the Shindy equivalent of the Brinks truck up for me.
I mean, you probably could.
Oh, I'm politicking. I'm pulling up all the guys at AEW who have less followers than me and being like, how much would you pay him?
I do that with I see comics with like who are like getting full weekends at clubs. Like, not that I have a huge account, but like I'm like, they got like nothing. And they get full weekends. I'm like, they're not selling tickets. God, come on.
Like I fucking hate anybody that flexes that number under their name because this shit could it's a luck, and I mean there is a whole lot of hard work that comes into maintaining the platform and whatnot, but it's mostly you said the right thing at the right time when the right person saw it, and then the right person with a lot of followers reposted that shit. Like that's just how it works, right? Like if we're being honest about it. Well, so I don't think it's anything to flex over. Yeah. But if I'm talking to a Shindy wrestling promoter, fuck you, big number.
Yeah.
My big number mean you give me big number.
Yeah, big number for big number.
Because I'm probably finna let some untrained asshole drop me on my neck.
Yeah, but now you're a big enough deal that you could be like, that's not gonna work for me, kid.
About to pull the curtain back before we wrap this up.
We're gonna end up just ending this podcast and just start talking about wrestling.
I was talking to my producer about something. I was like, hey, I don't like this one. It's not that I didn't like it. It just something didn't fit, and I was like, I'm finna Hulk Hogan you. That don't work for me, brother. The guys that work on this show with me, I'm talking to the audience now and you. The guys that I work on this with are fucking absolutely amazing. Like they have been. I'm not the easiest to work with just because I'm autistic and I'm very stuck in my fucking ways on doing things.
You're a wrestling fan with a podcast, this content creation.
But all right, I gotta wrap this on up because I actually have dad things to go do. But I will definitely have you back on. I'm sure
man.
Everybody's gonna enjoy this one. This has been a fucking. This has just felt like two dudes hanging out. Which
I feel like we've only scratched the surface.
Exactly. So do me a favor, real quick. Tell everybody where they can find you, all the places.
Metal Pete Comedy on Instagram, Comedian Peter Angelo on Facebook. That's where I put all my videos, my dates, where I'll be. Yeah. So those are the best places to follow me.
Hell yeah. Well, y'all go give Pete a follow. Thank him for being here with us in the comments. If you can, show him some love. Let him know y'all enjoyed his presence here with us. Thank you from me for being here.
Thank you for having me, man.
So I do this with everybody that comes on just because it seems kind of fun. You've seen my videos. You know how I do the outro, right?
Remind me.
All right. Well, just if you know the words, feel free to say them along. Thank you all so very much. Y'all have you a wonderful day, or at least the one you voted for deserve. Just do me exactly one favor. Keep the motherfucking boots out of your motherfucking mouth. And remember that the golden rule will always remain, yeehaw, fuck the law. Love y'all. See you down the line.
Truth Shots.
Hey there, folks. POB behind the scenes here. Thank you so very much for sticking around to the end. I hope you enjoyed everything you saw. If you'd like to see some more, you can click that video right there, and it'll get you back into the bar, into the seat, ready to hear all the fun and fuckery we get up to. Also, if you really enjoyed it and you'd like to support, feel free to check out the Substack, the Patreon, or any and all socials. We're everywhere, y'all. And let us know what you'd like to see in the future in the comments. See y'all next week.